From the moment that I started writing this music, I imagined it in 3 dimensions. The drums and bass in front of me and the saxophones sitting here, the tabla sort of flanking me from here and the brass section from the back, percussion from above and vocals like a choir like sort of surrounding me. But it's hard to articulate that in your mind, right? You can imagine a feeling, but it's pretty hard to translate that to somebody. But that's what this technology can do. I've been working on music in Atmos now for many years, helping artists and labels and producers and mixers from around the world remix their music into Atmos. This has involved some really big pop records, tons of independent music, tons of creative projects. I mean, I love any opportunity to be working on music in immersive audio. That idea of spatially remixing music is something that I love and I do on a daily basis. But as a composer and as a creator, it's the Atmos technology that has allowed me to express my own music in the way that I imagine it. Right when I started writing the music, I set out right off the bat to create an album in immersive audio, but I asked myself a couple of times, what does that actually mean? So I found that once I sat down and started to write the music, just like with previous music I've written, I needed that initial spark, but then this is like the kindling. I would sit down here with Pro Tools and play that melody in or play that groove in or sequence up some sort of harmonic progression. But then when I was composing and listening to it in real time, sitting right here, that's when things just started to expand in a way that almost I wasn't prepared for. It changed what I thought was possible. It changed how I wanted to compose. It changed what I wanted to compose in real time. And I feel like it unlocked an aspect of my creativity that I didn't even necessarily know was there, but was waiting. And actually, a lot of the music that I write involves lots of different layers and, complex organizations of various instruments and melodies and rhythms. And as soon as I could spatialize them at the beginning of the process, not at the end of the process, but at the source, that's when I feel like the music came to life how it was supposed to. And it just felt like, yes, this is what I want to create. So it was using the Atmos technology and using this immersive speaker array specifically, which here is 11.1.6, but realistically I was using 9.1.6. So using 16 points of an Atmos speaker array as sort of orchestration landmarks for me to be able to arrange this music in real time in 3 dimensions. And that's the potential. The idea of actually composing music to come to life in a 3-dimensional environment is not a new concept, but it's something that I haven't been able to properly explore until now. And it was using this Atmos technology that allowed me to do it. And so for me, it changed my relationship with music right here in this very chair. And from that point on, the Atmos technology has facilitated every stage of this process. It started right at the compositions. And then when we went to the studio, we set up a 914 speaker environment so that we could listen to the music coming to life in real time in this 3-dimensional array. And that changed everybody's perception, not just my own. It allowed every musician who stepped in that studio would sit down, we'd listen to something, let's say we recorded from the day before or what they were going to do, or they'd go out and do a take and then come and sit in the chair, listen back to what they did, and they would get it instantaneously because musicians are instinctual people. Now they go back in the room and they've got this 3-dimensional imagination. And we're tracking layer upon layer to, let's say, surround ourselves with a tabla ensemble or surround ourselves with a choir or have a kalimba in every channel or a snare drum in every channel. I mean, these kinds of things became possible because of the technology. Without it, it's not impossible to achieve, but it's very, very challenging to get everybody involved on the same page. And that's essential in a production. from a compositional level, I wanted to be able to overdub things. I wanted to be able to layer things on top of each other. I wanted to be able to manipulate different layers in different ways to combine acoustic textures with electronic textures, with produced textures, while still always maintaining this sense of cohesion. And so the way that we did that was by monitoring in 914 the whole time and making very specific microphone placement decisions on every performance to make sure that it would sit in the mix where it was intended. It's on the scores. I identified exactly where they should be. And so we mic'd them in such a way and placed them in the room in such a way that that's exactly where they're sitting. And then the immersive microphone arrays, or array and additional microphones in the space, were designed to provide the reflections on that end of the mix, which, normally I'd be looking that way. And that way, when I'm sitting like this, it just sounds like there's a brass ensemble playing behind me with all these natural reflections in front of me. It feels so real and so visceral, but I have the ability to control just that layer. And this is where the Atmos technology came into play. The combination of Pro Tools and using the Atmos technology allowed me to have sessions that sometimes are upwards of 400, 500, 600 tracks, all multi-layered with drum kits with full immersive capture, horn sections, saxophone sections, string sections in front of me, vocal choirs of overdubbed vocalists that surround me in every speaker, kalimbas coming out of every speaker. I mean, whatever the music and the composition, but also the creative process required, this technology was able to handle. Even just arranging the music at the editing stage and saying, okay, am I going to keep this melody here? Do I maybe want to add something? Do I maybe want to double that instrument up? All those kinds of things, keeping it in immersive the entire time just completely changed my relationship with what was possible. And then, of course, then we get to the mixing stage. And that's where, Dolby Atmos it's like getting in a space shuttle. It's just so capable of expressing what you want to do. It's this incredible three-dimensional real-time canvas. And when I was mixing this project in Atmos from the start, it's this technology that allowed it to become what it was supposed to be. The way that I heard it in my imagination, and arguably, I'd say it surpasses that. Now when I sit here and I listen to it, I'm hearing something that really is it's like a result of a dialogue with technology. This is a fully matured technology at this point because it is capable of supporting every stage of music creation. And that's what technology is supposed to do. It's supposed to support music creation. And the best technologies in history have always surpassed that and integrated themselves into creative process. Think about the phonograph. Think about the microphone. Think about multi-track recording, the tape machine, digital audio. These things completely turned music creators upside down when they came into the world. At first, there's a lot of wrestling with them. But eventually, when we reflect on those things, we can't even imagine making music without them. And now I'm at the point that I can't imagine making music without this. It's a canvas that just allows expression that feels authentic and feels inspiring. And I'm excited for the next time that I get to create my own music in it. And I'm sort of equally excited to get to hear how this continues to evolve when the next artist understands and creates a relationship with how this unlocks their creativity so that I can hear something like I've never heard it before. Because that is where the most magical potential is in this technology.